Good evening, and thank you for tuning into Lewis University Television Network. Today is May 7th, 2026. I'm Brian Najera.
And I'm Christian Kluver.
Breaking news today, health experts are working around the clock to contact trace the Haitian virus outbreak on a cruise ship that claimed the lives of 3 passengers, with more infected. The World Health Organization alerting at least 12 countries of passengers who disembarked from the boat as health officials race to contain the virus spread. Doctors Wednesday flying a passenger from the quarantine ship MV Hondius to Amsterdam, then taken to a German hospital for observation and testing. It's among the latest steps to trace and stop the spread of the hantavirus. Before the severity of the situation was understood, at least 30 passengers from around the globe disembarked at various ports and are now trying to be tracked down. WHO alerting these 12 countries of nationals who got off the boat at St. Helena Island. In the U.S., officials confirmed 2 passengers are being monitored in Georgia, another in Arizona, and the New York Times reports California residents were on board. Other American passengers reportedly returned to Texas and Virginia. Symptomatic patients in Switzerland, South Africa, and the Netherlands are receiving care. Spain has accepted the World Health Organization's request to accept the ship in the Canary Islands so passengers can get off, return home, and be monitored. Despite the frantic work, WHO's Director General insists countries are prepared and the risk of further spread is minimal.
Frontier Airlines is stepping up efforts to lure former Spirit customers after JetBlue and Southwest did the same. Frontier is waiving the enrollment fee for the discount den temporarily and offering extra miles for certain summer flights. The carrier also says it has discounts aimed at helping Spirit customers maintain existing travel plans. Rival JetBlue says it's capping fare prices too, as budget passengers seek to rebook. It's offering Spirit Silver and Gold Loyalist matching status in its Mosaic program. Southwest Airlines says it allows just similar loyalty match.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has welcomed a baby girl. Leavitt announced her daughter's birth on Instagram. She said Vivian, aka Vivi, was born last Friday, May 1st, and she is perfect and healthy. The newborn is now the baby sister to Leavitt's other child, a son with husband Nicholas Rico.
The Trump administration has added left-wing Antifa to a list of major terrorist groups. A new counterterrorism plan released Thursday put it alongside cartels and Islamic terrorist groups, but it's unclear exactly what groups are considered Antifa. Short for anti-fascism, the term could better be defined as an idea than a group. Antifa is decentralized with no parent network, and any autonomous group can identify as Antifa. Last year, the FBI was unable to answer basic questions about Antifa's size or location during the congressional hearing. And the Trump administration's new plan also seeks to identify other groups it calls violent with ideologies, including pro-transgenderism.
Rising gas prices are annoying, but most people say the cost is also impacting their bottom lines. According to an NPR PBS News Marist poll, 8 in 10 Americans say filling up is putting a strain on their household budget. As of Thursday, the average price of a gallon of gas was $4.56, according to AAA. That's a sharp rise from the $2.98 before the war in Iran started. And it's bad news for President Donald Trump. 63% of Americans surveyed placed most of the blame for higher gas prices on him. Up next, international news. We'll be right back.
It is a new day for jobs and careers, and the skills needed to compete are rapidly changing. This is why more students are choosing Lewis University. Lewis prepares you for emerging opportunities in some of the most highly sought-after fields. Higher education is the most crucial investment you can make in your future. Lewis provides you with a lasting education that will launch you toward success today and strong, growing careers of tomorrow. Begin an education that will pay dividends for a lifetime. Learn more at lewisu.edu.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years and I got my 3rd child who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
South Korea is considering joining a U.S.-led effort to protect merchant shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Officials say the review is based on international law, regional security conditions, and domestic consideration. The U.S. initiative, known as Project Freedom, aims to ensure safe passage through the key waterway. Disruptions in the strait have hit Asian markets hard, as many rely heavily on energy imports from the Gulf. Analysts warn the broader regional impacts could cost hundreds of billions of dollars and affect global supply chains.
Separatist organizers in Alberta say that they had enough support to push for a vote for breaking away from Canada. A petition with more than 300,000 signatures has been submitted to the provincial election office, well above the required threshold for a referendum. Supporters are calling for the issue to be put on the ballot as early as this fall. Premier Danielle Smith says a vote could proceed if signatures are verified, but the process is now on hold after a judge paused validation amid a legal challenge from Indigenous groups citing treaty rights.
9 miners have died and 6 others were rescued after an explosion at a coal mine in central Colombia. Authorities say the blast was likely caused by a buildup of gas inside the mine in Cundinamarca after 15 miners were initially trapped about 600 meters underground. Some escaped on their own, while others were later rescued and taken to a local hospital. Emergency crews were deployed to the site as officials assessed safety conditions for rescue operations. The incident happened in a region known for coal mining, where deadly incidents have occurred in the past.
2 people were killed after a car drove into a crowd in eastern German city of Leipzig. On Monday, according to the police, authorities say that 2 other people suffered serious injuries and were taken to the hospital, while around 20 more were affected by the incident. Emergency crews responded to the scene as police secured the area in downtown. And the suspected driver, described by police as a man, has been arrested and is no longer considered a threat. Leipzig Mayor Burkhard Jung said that the motive remains unclear, but officials stressed that there is no ongoing danger to the public. The investigation is still ongoing. We'll be right back with your local stories. Stay with us.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
For over 50 years, WLRA has been on air showcasing countless students. As the first all-digital college radio station, Lewis University students are given access to industry-leading equipment. Equipment that commercial stations utilize, equipment that creates, and equipment that brings radio to life.
I like WLRA because it gives me the opportunity to get experience with news broadcasting and working with radio.
Stop by De La Salle 210 or at WLRA Radio to get started on your radio career.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Local police departments in Romeoville and Lockport are increasing traffic enforcement as spring travel picks up across the area. Officers say warmer weather typically leads to more drivers, motorcyclists, and pedestrians on the road. Police are reminding residents to follow speed limits and avoid distracted driving. Authorities also encourage drivers to watch for construction zones and school crossings. Officials say traffic safety remains a top priority during the busier spring and summer months. Enforcement efforts are expected to continue throughout May.
Lockport Township Fire Protection District is reminding residents about the outdoor fire safety as warmer weather returns to the area. Officials say spring and summer months often lead to an increase in outdoor burning incidents, so residents are encouraged to follow local guidelines regarding fire pits, grills, and open burning. The district also recommends keeping fire extinguishers accessible during outdoor gatherings. Officials say that small safety precautions like these can help prevent serious accidents. Fire crews will continue community education efforts throughout the season.
Lewis University students are wrapping up the spring semester as final exams and commencement preparations continue on campus. Many students are finishing final projects and attending end-of-year events this week. University staff say campus resources remain available to help students manage stress during finals. Graduating seniors are also preparing for commencement ceremonies later this month. Student organizations have been hosting celebrations and final meetings before summer break. The university is saying it's looking forward to honoring the class of 2026.
This week, the Village of Romeoville continued preparations for its upcoming summer event season. Village officials say community events such as outdoor concerts, movie nights, and festivals will return in the coming months. Parks and public spaces are currently being prepared for increased visitor traffic, and officials say that these events help support local businesses and bring residents together. Residents are encouraged to watch for event schedules to be released soon. The village says community engagement remains a major priority for them this summer. Up next, news in the medical world with health correspondent Sharon Shurian. Stay with us for these brief messages.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
It is a new day for jobs and careers, and the skills needed to compete are rapidly changing. This is why more students are choosing Lewis University. Lewis prepares you for emerging opportunities in some of the most highly sought after fields. Higher education is the most crucial investment you can make in your future. Lewis provides you with a lasting education that will launch you towards success today and strong growing careers of tomorrow. Begin an education that will pay dividends for a lifetime. Learn more at lewisu.edu.
It is voluntarily recalling some varieties of its Zapp's and dirty potato chips because they might contain salmonella. It says a seasoning powder contains dried milk that could be infected, although no illnesses have been reported. The flavors affected include the Zapp's Bouillon, Blackened Ranch, and Big Cheesy, along with the dirty brand sour cream and onion, and Maui onion varieties. Also in the recall, the sea salt and vinegar flavor from both brands. Those varieties were sold nationwide. Utz is recommending customers throw out any affected packages. You can call the Utz customer care team for a refund, but you'll need to have the package when you call. Salmonella can cause serious and potentially fatal infections in babies, the elderly, and anyone with a weakened immune system. To date, there have been no reports of illnesses. A new poll shows some core Republican voters are upset about the cost of healthcare. It's from health policy research organization KFF. It looks at voters who say they support the Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again effort. The poll shows costs are the top healthcare priority for MAHA supporters. About half say they'll have a major impact on whether they vote in midterms. The poll indicates most MAHA voters are Republicans, although about a fifth say they're Democrats. MAHA is a play on words based on President Donald Trump's Make America Great Again slogan. Federal health officials blocked publication of several government-funded studies supporting the safety of COVID-19 and shingles vaccines. That's according to a new report by the New York Times. The studies, which cost millions of dollars in taxpayer funds, were conducted by FDA scientists. They found serious side effects were rare and that vaccine benefits outweighed the risks. Health and Human Service officials say the COVID studies were withdrawn because conclusions were not fully supported by the data. One shingle study was deemed outside the agency's scope. A company is voluntarily recalling several trail mixes over dry milk powder that may contain salmonella. The John B. Sanfilippo and Son products were sold under the brands Fisher Squirrel brand and Southern Style Nuts brand. They were sold in retail stores, online, and on QVC. The recall also includes a Good and Gather brand Mexican street corn trail mix sold at Target. The company said the mixes contain a seasoning made by a third-party supplier that contained dry milk powder. That milk powder was previously recalled over possible salmonella contamination. The company said even though the seasoning tested negative before being used in production, they're issuing the recall out of an abundance of caution. It says it has not received any reports of sickness. Up next, a look at your local weather with Christian Kluber, followed by sports with Jaden Elmore. We'll be right back after these short messages.
For over 50 years, WLRA has been on air showcasing countless students. As the first all-digital college radio station, Lewis University students are given access to industry-leading equipment. Equipment that commercial stations utilize, equipment that creates, and equipment that brings radio to life.
I like WLRA because it gives me the opportunity to get experience with news broadcasting and working with radio.
Stop by De La Salle 210 or at WLRA Radio to get started on your radio career.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back, Flyers, to your last weather forecast of the semester and my last weather forecast with LUTV. For today's high temperatures, at Rockford up north, it was 60 degrees their high. We go to Waukegan, it was 54. It was pretty stagnant all over down where we were. Same thing, teetering between 60 and 62. Down south in Kankakee, we're at 60, and same thing in Indy, 58, 59 in LaPorte, and 56 in South Bend. When we look at our radar, we might see some scattered showers depending on where you're at. If you're up north, same thing over here. It might pass that Joliet Lewis region, which we are right here in the center of the state. There's going to be some showers, and all the way up north in Green Bay, that upper peninsula region, it's going to continue to cross into Toronto. But from all we can see, it looks like we are going to be in the clear later on tonight. Temperature changes. Our largest change was up north in Waukegan. It was a 5-degree change down where we were at between Cicero and Joliet. Depending where you were, it could have changed anywhere between 1 degree and 4 degree. Out east in Indiana, LaPorte was 2-degree change, and South Bend was a 1-degree change. And out west in Aurora, it was a 3-degree change. And our 7-day outlook to end us out today, it was drizzling. It was 59 degrees is our high, 43 is our low. We're going to have some sunshine this weekend, partly cloudy all the way through Sunday. 66 is our high on Friday, 73 is our high on Saturday, 45 is our low, 60 is our high on Sunday with a 43 low. And into the week, same thing, partly cloudy on Monday, a high of 53. Some more rain again on Tuesday, high 54, low 45, and to end out the week, same thing. Partly cloudy with a high of 54. That was all for our last weather forecast. We're going to pass over to Jaden Elmore with sports.
New Jersey is set to play a major role when the FIFA World Cup arrives, serving not only as a host for matches, but also as a home base for several national teams. Morocco will train at the Pingree School in Basking Ridge, using the campus as its headquarters for the entire tournament. Brazil is scheduled to hold its sessions at Columbia Park in Morris Township, while Senegal will prepare at Rutgers University's in Piscataway. Haiti will also call the Garden State home, training at Stockton University in Galloway Township. The setup positions New Jersey as one of the busiest hubs of team activity during the World Cup. The Lewis University's men's volleyball team capped its season with 3 AVCA All-American Honorable Mentions selections as Daniel Haber, Nico Paula, and Cameron Hoying all earned national recognition. It marks a second All-American honor for Paula and the first for both Haber and Hoying, who each also collected all MIVA accolades this spring. Paula closed out his career with 264 digs and a MIVA leading 2.44 digs per set, highlighted by a 22-dig performance that tied his own program record. Haber led the Flyers with 320 kills and 48 aces, becoming the only active player on the roster to reach 100 career aces, while also ranking among the top MIVA's servers. Hoying delivered a breakout year with 311 kills and 39 aces, posting 3 patches at 20-plus kills and hitting over .400 5 times. This second straight season, Lewis has produced 3 or more All-American, underscoring the depth and firepower of the 2026 roster. The Lewis University women's golf team finished 8th out of 18 teams at the NCAA Division II East Regional, closing with a 3-round total of 972 at Findlay Country Club. Number 4 Findlay won the regional with a 903, followed by Grand Valley State, Ferris State, and Missouri St. Louis, which claimed the final qualifying spot. The individual title went to Findlay's Ashley Duffalo, who shot a 293 over par. Lewis held steady across all 3 rounds to secure a top 10 regional finish. The appearance marked another strong postseason showing for the Flyers. This past Tuesday, the NHL held its 2026 draft lottery. This event plays an important role in the NHL because it helps decide which teams will have the first chance to select top prospects in June's draft. The Chicago Blackhawks entered the lottery with the second best odds for the first pick. The Vancouver Canucks had the best chance. Surprisingly, the Toronto Maple Leafs won the first pick with just an 8.5% chance. Top prospect Gavin McKenna from Penn State is expected to go first overall. This year's NHL draft will take place in late June. A jury in Massachusetts found NFL player Stephon Diggs not guilty Tuesday in a case involving allegations that he attacked his personal chef last December. Prosecutors said the chef lived and worked inside Diggs' home at the time of the incident, but jurors ultimately cleared the wide receiver of all charges. Diggs had been released by the New England Patriots after the season as the case moved forward. His attorney said the verdict removes a major obstacle in Diggs' career and hopes an NFL team will now consider signing him. The ruling closes a months-long legal battle that had cast uncertainty over the veteran receiver's future. That's it for sports this week. I'm Jaden Elmore. We'll be right back with Brandon and Christian right after this.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs! We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savebythescan.org.
That's it for today's news. As a reminder, you can always keep up with Lewis University Television Network on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and by visiting our YouTube channel. I'm Brandon Jarrah.
And I'm Christian Kluber. Have a great night and a great summer.